Hello Sagittarius friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Sagittarius December 2022 mini-scope, an abbreviated version of my usual monthly horoscopes because we were affected by Hurricane Ian and at the time of this recording we still don't have internet. So I need to keep them short so that when I find some place to upload, I can do that more easily. This is for you if Sagittarius is your sun sign, like me, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other placement of Sagittarius that you are listening for. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you are a late degree Sagittarius, also like me, so we'll say like December 15th through the rest of the sign, or like 23 or so degrees through the rest of the sign, I additionally suggest you listen to my Capricorn reports for your very late degree friends because the Sag and Cap reports will have pieces for you. If you don't want the visual and you're watching through YouTube and you want to instead just listen to this report, it is syndicated through my podcast called Annie Botticelli Astro Kisses. So you can find it on Spotify, you can find it on iTunes, any other places, or just search for Annie Botticelli Astro Kisses. And if you're listening to the podcast version and you want the visuals, which are different every time, then you can go to YouTube. Make sure to check out the notes beneath each video or podcast to find out how to get more free goodies and more information about the upcoming time. I am calling the theme of this month random fun and birthday mischief. Okay, so even if it isn't your birthday, there is a lot of sizzling energy for fun, expansion of horizons, redefining yourself, social connections. This is just, a time when your fire dragon is going to be sizzling and partly unleashed. We'll say partly because your big unleashing of the fire dragon is going to come like February, March, April, all that time frame. We're kind of in like a mini unleashing at this time because we still have Mars retrograde, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But these Sag energies are going to make you saucy. And you are definitely going to be ready for fun. You're going to be ready for connecting with other people and ready for lots of positive change, whether it's your birthday month or not. So first of all, let's just say happy birthday to me and to all of the other Saggies who are December born. If you're listening to this early and you're a Scorpitarius, happy birthday to you too. Birthday time is a magical time when the universe is especially receptive to your wishes. So make sure you make your birthday wishes, write them down, say them out loud, and feel them as if they've already come true. If you are watching for another placement besides your sun, so it's not your birthday, then do know that the strengthening of your will through intention setting is especially supercharged at this time as well. Intention setting and wishes are a little bit different. Wishes kind of surrender to the universe to make something happen for you. And intention is you saying, I'm going to do this. But regardless of which way it's happening, both of those are supercharged for Saggies at this time. Some of the biggest news that is going on right now for Saggies is that Jupiter, our leader, our ruler, just went direct November 23rd. Okay, so here we are in December and Jupiter is getting rowdy. Jupiter is also back in Aries this month, fellow fire sign, and from now through May is going to make trines, the most favorable angle in all of astrology, to all of our Sag placements. So the more you have, the more kisses you're going to get. This is a time of accomplishment, fulfillment. This is a time of sizzling creativity and inspiration. This is a time when things are gelling for you with your romantic experience with your children, with your creative babies, with your bucket list items, with your revitalization of yourself, your physical body, healing of your physical body, education, teaching, learning, languages, making plans for international travel or actually doing it. All of those things are sizzling now and opportunities will abound. One of the biggest things we have to watch out for this month is that although there are some nice aspects, a lot of nice aspects, which we'll talk more about, we do have some squares. And 3 of those squares, challenging aspects this month, are involving Jupiter, our ruler. So the days around December 5th, the days around December 9th, the days around December 21st, be extra careful to not overdo or overcommit. Saggies do not like to be bound in, but we are always really willing and wanting to help, and it does give us a tendency to overcommit. And this is especially strong scattered throughout the month with these squares. So in your overzealousness to serve and to help, and in your, overflowing cup, just wanting to spill over and give yummies to everybody, just definitely be careful to try to not commit to anything long-term or short-term. The mood is going to change a bit after December 12th, and we're going to start going deeper into the energy of retrograde. We do still have Mars retrograde until January. We are in there, but we are also going to add Mercury retrograde, which is totally fine, except that it does tend to call things into question. And along with these squares, it can cause us to overcommit, which then maybe days or weeks or months later, we may have a hard time pulling through the things we committed to. So opportunities will abound. The more flexible you can leave your arrangements for anything longer term that comes up now, or anything shorter term, even committing to a holiday party, the happier you will be. The more flexible you leave your schedule, the less you'll have to go through drama in rescheduling, and the more you can leave room for last minute magic, which is one of my favorite things about retrograde time. Okay, so December 12th through the 28th, Mercury shadow period starts. You can kind of liken this to slowing down to make a U-turn. So you're flowing on the highway where Mercury's direct. Okay, that's all the time from December 1st through almost the 12th. You're flowing on the highway. Okay, good speed. Then you're like, oh crap, got to make a U-turn. You start slowing down and trying to get into the lane to make a U-turn. And that time of slowing down and getting into the lane to make the U-turn is December 12th through the 28th. Then you're kind of stalled out from December 29th through January 19th. That's the retrograde. That's when you're sitting in the median trying to get a chance to turn back around. All right. And then January 20th through February 6th is the post-shadow period. I liken that to getting back up on the highway, getting back up to speed, getting in the lane you need to be, and all that takes place from January 20th to February 6th. Then after that, the big open period that I have been promising comes. All the retrogrades will start clearing and everything will really be on fast forward at that time. December is an amazing month where you could be creating things in the backdrop. You could be experimenting and releasing just mini boosts, mini projects. You could be revising, editing. Many Sagittarius will be working on writing projects and, getting things polished and all ready for your spring 2023 or fall 2023 for you all down under launch. So Mercury retrograde is going to take place in Capricorn this session. It's 24 degrees back down to 8 degrees. So this is for Saggies going to bring things from the past, especially having to do with work and money and material items and our relationships with them and our imprint and sustainability. Definitely things like hurricanes and not having power and water for extended periods of time and other such types of experiences help to redirect our energy towards sustainability and being able to weather those types of storms. And these are the types of things that you might be thinking about at this time. For some Sagittarius, this will come up as a questioning or reevaluation of your work or employment path. Some of you will be questioning your money and your spending and your budget. Some of you will be reevaluating and planning for future spending, but there's definitely a strong focus on finances, your money consciousness, and anything having to do with work, employment, business, or even father figures. You might be healing things having to do with your father figures, whether they're still present on the. So there's going to be a lot of energy of randomness, of fun, of reestablishing your identity and how you walk in the world and how you share your gifts and learning and teaching and sharing and taking in information. There's going to be a strong social component, and you will be running around all over the place and interacting with a lot of different people, leading to overstimulation. This just happens when the planets are in Sagittarius because it already spins out. It spins out our already spinned outness, right? So Sag energies move in this upward spiral. And whenever it's called a mutable energy, which is what makes us so flexible and be like, oh, that's okay. Okay, we're doing that. All right, that's okay. But when we have planetary movements that are also doing that, just know you're going to be overstimulated and this is going to be like a blur. Add to this the fact that Mars is still moving through air sign Gemini in the sign opposing ours, making oppositions to our Sag placements. And this is going to be spinning us out as well. Okay, so if you're having a little more trouble concentrating than usual, then do know that as we get towards the end of the month, like the days around the 21st or so, as the energies ground into Capricorn, you'll start to calm down, start to get more centered, start to get more focused. If you have a bigger project that you have to focus on and you're distracted, or you have some tedious things like taxes or other stuff you have to deal with, the energies are going to be much more conducive to that starting around the 22nd through the rest of December and into January. And in the meantime, if you have to get something done, short spurts, okay, Mars in Gemini is telling us short spurts are going to be more productive. And Sagittarius tend to work that way anyway. I like to call it microtasking. So if you have like a big project to do and you chip away 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, you may find that you're able to be super productive. But, the ants that get in your pants, Sagittarius tend to have ants in their pants. That's what my dad would always say to me. You're going to be feeling that very strongly for most of the month. Some other dates to note. December 7th, full moon in Gemini. Fullness, completion, fruition, coming to a relationship space, coming to travel, vehicles, devices, elucidation, coming to one of these areas. And this is the house of relationships. So there's definitely something noteworthy occurring. So we not only have Mars retrograde happening, we also have the full moon. All Saggies will have a chance for some big news or big experiences, things coming to a head for better or worse, or trips, travel. Also, Gemini tends to rule in the days around the 7th. And those of you who are near 16 degrees, so that's like December 5th or so. So we'll say like December 1st through December 11th, the closer to like the 5th or 6th, the more you'll get the opposing force from that full moon. And then we've got on the days around the 23rd, we've got a new moon in Capricorn, right? So 1 degree of Cap. This is in the whole house chart. It's in our money house. So we already have other things going on. As I told you, as the planets get into Capricorn, they're going to light up those finances and the income and our money consciousness. And then we have this nice seed planting energy at the days around the 23rd with the new moon. And in the Placidus chart, though, that new moon energy really is in the first house. So this is just adding more fullness to this first house experience for us. In this solar chart for Sagittarius, the Sun, Venus, star goddess Hygeia, Mercury, and then some essence of this new moon are all gathered in this place of our physical body, of our health, of our vibrance, of how we put ourselves out in the world, how people see us. So there's this beautiful rebirth process occurring and lots of good energy towards that. And it might also just give you more vitality to fuel that random fun and birthday mischief that I mentioned before. I'm going to give you another couple of dates to look out for yumminess. And if you want a complete list of my top favorite aspects of the month and what you can expect from them, definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. You'll get even more information written and links to other things I've created to help you make the most of the current and upcoming astrology. But these two other dates, the days around December 1st, Venus in Sagittarius is going to make a beautiful aspect with Saturn in Aquarius, and this can give beautiful romantic and financial and self-esteem opportunities for all Saggies, but especially those around 19 degrees, okay? So we'll say like 14 degrees through 24 degrees, so we'll say like December 4th through around the 14th, 15th, 16th, somewhere around there, and the closer to like the 8th, 9th, 10th, the more you're getting an exact kiss from that aspect. And then the second one is the days around December 3rd and 4th, the Sun in Sagittarius is making a beautiful trine with Chiron in Aries, really helping you to resolve a long-standing chironic wound, a place of woundedness, of vulnerability, extra blessings and healing and beautiful outcomes for all Saggies, but especially those of us close to 12 degrees. So we'll say 7 degrees through 17 degrees, the closer to 12 degrees. So that's like the days around December 6th through 16th. or 17th. And then the closer to around December 12th, the more you'll get that kiss. But don't worry if you're not in those zones of those special aspects, because all Saggies are lit up like crazy this month, and this is definitely our time to shine. If you would love to learn astrology, or just for your personal purposes, or as your profession, go to lumelife.com, L-U-M-E life.com. And check out my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course. Well, I will teach you how to do astrology and earn money, or you can just learn how to help your friends and your family and yourself. So you can see that at lumelife.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.